Today we're going to be talking about Jamestown, and the need-to-know date for Jamestown is 1607. England was wanting to find a permanent colony in the New World. They wanted to establish a permanent new colony, not find one. And they wanted to do this to extend their empire and gain resources to help their economy. So Sir Walter Raleigh received a charter to begin a colony. And so he loaded up a boat, sailed across the ocean, and landed in the New World. He landed in present-day Virginia, and the place that he chose was geographically similar to England. It had marshy, wetlands, and was beside a river, which was just the way England was. However, that led to disease and poor soil. So because of the place that he chose, the colony couldn't survive. Not only did it not survive, but it couldn't survive. It was in such a poor location with poor leadership and poor resources that Roanoke really just didn't have a chance. And when the next group was set sailing toward Roanoke, they arrived and all they found was literally a skeleton and an empty fort. The word Croatoan was carved into a tree nearby. Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows if it's the Native American tribe that might have killed everybody. But there was nothing in the fort except their belongings and no people. There was that one skeleton, but there was nothing else. No trace of anybody else. And it's one of the great mysteries of history is what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke. And so England tried a second attempt. And the second attempt was much better. It was more successful, and they called it Jamestown after King James. And this was established in 1607 as the first permanent English settlement in North America. English were unprepared for the hardships they would face, though. You see, they were seeking gold and mineral riches and not working to survive. They weren't trying to grow food. They weren't trying to harvest. They weren't trying to build permanent shelters. They were only looking for the easy riches. And that was almost detrimental to Jamestown, just like it was Roanoke. 500 or more settlers made the initial journey to Jamestown, and only 60 remained when the second group of people came with a man named John Rolfe. He kind of became the leader, but he had little leadership experience. He did marry a pretty famous girl named Pocahontas. You probably remember her from the Disney movies, but she was the daughter of the Native American chief nearby, and she, with the help of her tribe, had knowledge of planting, growing, and harvesting crops. And so he planted tobacco from seeds he had received, and this first crop made huge profits. And tobacco becomes the first cash crop, and Jamestown miraculously survives. Jamestown is a profitable venture for England because it is producing large quantities of tobacco. Now, it can only produce this amount of tobacco with the help of African slaves. Some essential questions from this topic. What factors helped Jamestown survive? In reference to Roanoke and Jamestown, how does leadership affect the outcome of a colony?